The night is dark and foreboding as Ser Sonch rides at full tilt through the countryside. It is as if death itself compels him to haste, though he is not running from it but giving chase. As he cuts through the thick Starkwaldian forest, whipped mercilessly by heavy branches, nocturnal animals howl all around him, a mournful threnody foreshadowing what awaits him at the end of the road. He tries to remain hopeful, and if hope is found wanting, then resolve will do. Resolve, and the calm of a night at peace with his fate. Yet this is not his fate that is at stake, is it? If only he can get there in time. He never does. All he sees is a giant winged shadow soar above his estate, while his legacy is consumed in black flames. And welcome to Kingdoms Forlorn, Ser Sonch-focused Let's Play. So, first off, I just want to say huge thank you to everyone who's been checking out my beginner's guide, and big thanks to Into the Unknown Studios for actually putting that video on their Kickstarter page. I was a very pleasant surprise to wake up to, and I really appreciate all the positive words. I will be, I haven't really fully realized how I'm going to approach this sort of Let's Play series. Like I mentioned in the beginner's guide, this game is a handful and a half to play solo. It is not meant to be played solo, at least not yet, because the solo rules currently are not in the game. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to play through the game. However, we're going to focus narratively on one character, as well as when it comes to tactical decisions made in the battle. I will be focusing mostly on my own abilities, or Ser Sonch's abilities, and gear and stats, and we'll try to fully focus on him. I will be utilizing everyone's other abilities to the best of my ability. However, don't count on me making the most efficient plays with them. They'll mainly be there just to sort of punch and attack and take hits for us. But I will use abilities and stuff when I can. But we're going to be focusing on Ser Sonch on this video. Additionally, this will be a actual gameplay video. I am not going to be talking about in-depth rules or mechanics or exactly how to play the game. Please refer to my beginner's guide if you haven't watched that. If this is the first video you're coming across, please go check out that video first. It tells you how to play the game and sort of what to expect from the general game flow. I will, however, when I am able to, refer to the keywords cards or keywords section of the rulebook to let you know exactly sort of what certain abilities do, just so you can sort of learn that, because that I didn't really cover in the beginner's guide, just because, as you can see, there's plenty of different things to be able to just read that off in a video. None of you will even remember that. So when it comes to actually utilizing that keyword in the game, I'll refer to this if I need to. However, I can usually just sort of memorize it offhand, or at least some of them, the more common ones. Additionally, like I said, we're going to focus narratively on Ser Sonch's story, and we're going to try to do all we can to progress his story. So when it comes to choosing directions for resolving clues and stuff like that, we're going to try to just be focusing on getting the amount of clues that Ser Sonch needs for his story. I will be adding other clues in for other characters as they gain them. However, when it comes to triggering story events, I will not be reading their stories, just again for the sake of time. This is going to be a very long video, most likely, so I still haven't decided yet on if I'm going to break it up into multiple videos or just sort of have timestamps. I'm probably just going to go to have timestamps because that's just a little bit easier. Plus, it sort of has the same effect anyways. I think that covers everything. I'm trying to make sure I remember. I've already done the basic setup for the game, so that's all out of the way. Additionally, one thing I will mention is if you are playing this yourself on Tabletop Simulator, Kara's stat card is actually incorrect off the start. You can see she actually should start with 11 health. The current version just has 10 health, so make sure to bump that up by 1. Get yourself a free health, essentially. I also, earlier today, I played for the first time with other players, with some of my friends and coworkers. This is the first time teaching them the game, just so you know, for your own benefit. This game is very difficult to teach, especially to players who aren't super familiar with games like Kingdom Death, Townsfolk Tussle, Endless Trespass Odyssey. We only ended up doing the first Delve phase and doing the first Clash phase, and it took about 3.5 hours. That is also with me mostly just explaining stuff, and also them not being able to fully retain all the information yet. We're still going to obviously have to play more for them to fully retain that information. However, just so you know, that gives you a little bit of an idea what your first session might go. So if you are going to be introducing this to your friends, make sure they are in it for the long haul, because it is going to be a long haul. All right, with that all out of the way, let's just dive in. Let's check out Chapter 1 for Ser Sonch's story, and check out exactly what his special rules and objectives are for this delve. Whoa, hold your horses there, Michael. All right, so apologies for the pause. I'll get back to it in just a second. I just wanted to put another small disclaimer. So Editor Michael here. I've looked through pretty much all the footage. I have added in notes and corrections on rules and stuff like that that I believe should be corrected, or things that I got mistaken or forgotten. I will warn you, there were a couple of big mistakes I made in the combat, such as missing an entire one of my character's turns, as well as missing one of the enemy's reaction turns. So it sort of evens out there, but still, I just want to warn you. I've tried to correct things as much as I can. Hopefully it's still enjoyable to watch. I think it's still overall a good representation, but again, I'm still learning. Hopefully bear with me, and this will, of course, get better and better as as time goes on. But anyways, back to the show. So chapter 1 is on Black Wings. A young lady's fate is in your hands, good sir, the messenger blurts out. You stroke your impressive snow-white mustache and feed a date to little sir. No. No? The messenger is dumbfounded. Good sir, it's the daughter of Count Wolfgang von Braun that is in mortal danger. Lad, you need to learn perspective. I have tracked quarries for the Order of St. Clair since long before your papa learned to use the chamber pot. I do not get up because a pretty young lady is in peril. If I think about it, these days I do not get up for any reason whatsoever. Isn't that right, little sir? You turn towards your monkey companion, who chirps in agreement. That is right. Ser Sonch, please, my master will whip me if I don't return with you. Surely sorry, cannot be helped. The messenger shifts from one foot to the other. Then, my messenger instructed me to say this, Orang Ang. You freeze, and slowly turn towards the boy. Well now, lad, why didn't you lead with that? Orang Ang, the jet black, dragon of legend, of the first dragons predating the Black Fog by an age, the ultimate foe. You accept Count von Braun's invitation. Your patron is a pale, somber man on the verge of a breakdown. He looks like someone who would do anything to get his daughter back. Madness peeks through an invitingly open mind. As he explains his predicament, you simply nod. Ilse was taking on the Poor Knight's Road, a day's ride from Hockenheim. Bandits, presumably, though I do not rule out foul play from another house. Things have been on a downward spiral since the fog began to lift. You hum knowingly. So close to the deep fog. Pray tell, what was she doing there? Count von Braun mutters, averting your eyes. My dear Count, if you can't be honest with your daughter's would-be savior, how can you expect her to ever be returned? Out with it. I cannot. Then, with a heavy heart I must decline. I have bested many a knight in my time and tracked many a quarry, but a dishonest foundation cannot support the Tower of Trust. I have come here lured by the prospect of hearing about the great Orang Ang, what I now suspect was a clever ruse on your part, my interests uncovered for all to see and exploited, most sinisterly. I heard you like to talk, Ser Sonch, the Count says coldly. I like my actions to talk for me. He extends his bony hand and drops a tarnished stone coin on the table. As it lands, it makes an audible thud, as if it weighed more than it looked like it should. A St. Urbain obol, charred, but recognizable. And there it is. You exhale, sitting back. Little Sir is quick to snatch the coin from the table and bring it to you. Too kind, my friend. When you inspect it up close, looks like it's just as genuine as when it first landed on the table. Well, my dear Count, it seems you've hired yourself a tracker. On the Poor Knight's Road, utter carnage awaits you. Maimed bodies are rotting where they had been thrown. Weapons and pieces of armor litter the highway. The carriage is lying on its side, split open like a pumpkin. Torn cushions and curtains, and the shreds of the illusion of safety are the only things left inside. No bandit did this, you surmise. Over the years, you've developed a habit of thinking out loud, as if talking to your monkey companion. We're in for a treat, my nimble friend. Maybe there is some enjoyment to be had here after all. Little Sir saunters around the scene while you search for clues. Eventually, you find a small pouch filled with lavender and dried orange blossoms, the kind a woman would keep under her petticoat. And beyond that, between two bushes of wild blackberries, footprints, surprisingly human. It looks like someone was dragged away that way by... You mumble, licking your lips. At least 3 armored men. Hear that, little sir? Clankers. The tracks lead to the very edge of the deep fog. High stone towers loom in the distance like specters of ruin. The Principality of Stone lies beyond. There are rumors of people turned to stone, of earthquakes so violent they buried entire cities, of monsters so foul and terrible one look at them could kill you. No sane person would venture forth, but sanity is the luxury of less talented, more pedestrian individuals. Knights like you, they take the plunge. So there is the setup to our story, and the setup as to why Ser Sonch is coming here. to the Principality of Stone. So our objective is we need to find Von Brahm's daughter Ilse on the outskirts of the Principality of Stone so we can resume our lifelong quest of hunting Orang-Ang, the Dragonlove legend. Remember, bandits will try to remain hidden while the monsters of the kingdom walk in the open. So we need to gain at least 4 green or errant clues and 2 yellow or historic clues, and also win the boss clash to fully fulfill our objective. And also we have 2 story progression things that we can get to once we hit 2 errant and 1 historic clues, as well as 4 errant and 2 historic clues. Additionally, after we finish the boss self-clash, we'll read a story out to see our chapter's outcome. Ser Sonch also has additional rules where whenever you enter a new kingdom card with an empty point of interest, you can lose 1 health to place 2 opening tokens on that point of interest, and that becomes scouted. And when you move to the monster clash, we essentially get to have those in the night pool at the very start of the fight, which is very, very nice. Now, like I said, we're not going to be focusing on other character stories. However, I will do my best to include their stuff, ability-wise as I can. So they do have some additional ability rules. However, for the most part, I think we're just going to ignore those, just again for the sake of time and simplicity's sake. But I think with that out of the way, we are ready to start. So we're going to have Ser Sonch be the starting party leader, and we are starting in the crossroads. So of course, we are going to be looking for 4. In total, we're going to need 4 green clues and 2 yellow clues. But let's go to the right then. Let's go start gathering our green or errant clues. So we're going to give the tile decks a shuffle. Let's also give our exploration decks a shuffle. And then we will draw a medium card. So we have revealed the Nobles District, which is another point of interest. We do get the clues. Again, I'm not going to say a step-by-step on how to play the game. You can refer to Beginner's Guide video for that. So let's see, we get 1 errant clue. Same goes for Renholder. And then we don't get anything else, but we do, of course, raise our threat by 1. And also, again, apologies for the hitches. It seems like they haven't updated the table to improve that. And then we're going to resolve our first exploration card. Stone Wish Shrine. Each knight may pay 10 gold or gain 2 heat to roll a dice and resolve an effect. I mean, high risk, high reward. I think for Ser Sonch, I think we'll take that chance. So we're going to gain 2 heat. Ooh, should we? We can potentially use, we only have 3 heat. We actually don't have a ton of heat, and we might potentially use heat for other things down the road. And I also don't really like the risk of potentially petrifying our gear or losing health. You know what? I know how difficult this game is. We're gonna keep our health and everything intact. Getting a free clue would be nice, but we have just as good of a chance of petrifying our gear. So I think we'll just pass with everyone. And then we're going to use our abilities. So I know that Renholder actually has an ability that's pretty good to use early on. We are going to use Empower. So Empower lets us gain a heat to place us on our card. And at the start of each delve turn, we can put a Lux token on there. And once it gets to 3 tokens, we discard this and gain those Lux tokens onto our night sheet so we can utilize them for other stuff. Additionally, Fleischritter can potentially raise the threat level to gain a Fleisch token, which he can utilize for other abilities, but I think we'll hold off on that. We could have the potential just to gain a Fleisch token during the encounters randomly. All right, so that's going to be Ser Sonch's turn. So now Renholder is going to be the party leader. Again, at the start of his turn, he'll get a Lux token. And then we are, of course, just going to work towards Ser Sonch's stuff. So we're going to actually go downwards and reveal a large card, as well as getting a historic clue. So we get the Allfather Church. So that actually, that is perfect for us. So not only do we get a historic clue, but we get a errant clue as well. Wonderful. So there's one for both of those, and then a historic clue. Kara actually gains those as well. So we have 2 green and 1 yellow, which already unlocks our very first story progression. So of course we're going to resolve that right away. And just for ease of sake, we have no other clues or curse gain to get. However, we do have to raise our threat to 4. All right, so now that we have 2 errant clues and 1 yellow already, let's resolve story number 1. So dust swirls around your every footstep, small clouds of debris lifting skywards on the utterly still air. To some, the sheer silence of the principality may have seemed daunting, even intimidating to you. Even intimidating, but not to you. Do not fret, my dear friends, you pronounce, tapping your immense nose knowingly. When the night tracker picks up the scent, he doesn't relent. Problem is, one of the companions rudely casts aspersions on your work. We're tracking a few different individuals. Which scent are you tracking? The egg-shaped knight? Ah, you exclaim, looking for the right words that will brush the truth, while still passing it by unassumingly. Well, yes, the rounded knave never leaves my mind. The rogue is close by too, as the more hunt-inclined of our party can attest to. We just need to be careful, you add, trying intently to follow Von Brom's daughter's trail and not the Egg Knights. A jagged structure looms ahead, casting deep shadows. Once some kind of chapel, maybe. A small forest of tombstones surrounds it, the name long lost to the scouring winds and billowing dust clouds that frequent the more open spaces of the Principality of Stone. Little Sir leaps from your shoulder, scaling a particularly tall epitaph. His beady little eyes scour the surroundings. Ho! See something, my fur-clad friend? So the Egg Knight prowls the kingdom's highways, while the highwaymen may be tempted to skulk in the back alleys. We can lose 2 health, as well as raise the threat by 1 to treat our current kingdom card as 1 size smaller, or 1 size larger, 2 if we do both. And depending on which kingdom card size you are on, see the correct story outcome. So, I personally don't want to lose health. I personally also don't want to raise our threat because we're already at 4. So I think we're just going to keep our card as it is, and we're currently on a large card. So that is going to be resolving story number 3, because it's a large or extra large kingdom card. You stride up to the ramshackle remnants of the chapel, careful to avoid the more precarious outcroppings of the still intact roof that might collapse upon you. No sense in falling prey to a building, of all things. Steady does it, lads and ladies. Inside, a sinister sight awaits you. A collection of statues, all clambering towards what was once the central pulpit of the chapel. Upon the raised platform, gazing down at the onrushing tide of figures, a minister clad in flowing robes scowls coldly. All consumed by the curse of petrification, you are certain. A momentary pity swells within you. The congregants, desperate for any solace, clamoring for their minister's care and kindness. Did they find any reprieve of their final moments? You have your doubts. Little Sir leaps from your shoulder, bounding across the heads of the statues. You follow as closely as you can, although your course is far more challenging than your nimble little companions. By the time you catch up to him, he has leapt down into the cracked ground and now paws at some pool of sticky yellow fluid. He raises a paw to his mouth, tasting it before you can stop him. Ugh, you bark. Stop that, you cad! There's no way of knowing where it's been. Oh, camera, please. There's no way of knowing where it's been. You scoop up Little Sir before he can shove any more of that substance into his mouth, growling as you place him back on your shoulder. Whatever shall I do with you, rapscallion? You scratch him beneath the chin, chiding him good-naturedly. The tiny figure squeaks and chirps merrily in response. And what do we have here, anyway? You turn to the little pool of umber liquid, poking at it with a finger. Sticky and stinking of oil and metal. You've heard of one beast who might leave such a trail. Ah, it seems like young Lady Von Brom is not our only quarry this day. You chuckle, silently damning your Paggio at Cuesta that has unobservedly led you onto the trail of one prey you specifically did not want to track. Come, Little Sir, our adventure is just beginning. So we gain 1 passion, and we start the next clash with a fear condition, and also raise our heat limit by 1. So overall, getting a heat limit is really, really great. Fear condition really sucks, though, because that's going to give us -2 precision until we are able to wound, and then we can potentially turn it in, or then we can turn it into a positive effect. But it's going to not be too bad. Luckily, our Broken Sword already starts with +2, so if anyone's going to get the fear condition, luckily it's good that it's Ser Sonch. So that is going to raise those stats, and then we also have actually an active time event. So Fleischritter can actually gain a heat or lose health to sort of interrupt Ser Sonch's story. Now again, I'll leave that to you to explore, or we can potentially do it some other time. But again, for the sake of time, plus I personally don't really want to raise his stats or raise his heat or lower his health right now, especially considering Fleischritter already starts with only 2 max heat. So I think we're just going to hold off on that, and that'll be our first story event. So we can trigger the next one at 4 errant clues and 2 historic. So now that we've resolved that story event, we have to finish this. Also, this pathway here has a Panzer Gate, which unfortunately locks us out of that area. So 1 immediately slams down and cuts off 1 path for us. We also have to resolve our second story event, or second exploration event. So we have light in the tunnel. Place this card next to the exploration deck and place a generic token on a random direction on this card. So we are going to grab a random token. Also, for random directions, we're going to be rolling a d10 on a 9 or a 10. It's going to be our choice, and then it's just starting from north. So north is 1 to 2, east is 3 to 4, so on and so forth. So we got a 4, so that is going to be east. For the next 3 delve rounds, if you travel in this direction, lower your threat by 1. If you move in a different direction, discard this card. If you traveled in a randomly chosen direction for 3 consecutive delve rounds, reduce your curse by 1, and then discard this card. So unfortunately, we got this Panzergate here, so if we're going to want to take advantage of that reduction, we're going to have to go there. Unfortunately, as well, none of these paths have tokens or clue tokens that are of any particular interest to Ser Sonch. That's not going to be that good. All right, well, that's going to be that. So then our ability window pops up. I'm not going to use any abilities at the moment, so I think we're not going to worry about that. And let's see, I could set us up, though. Because I know that in the next travel phase, we could actually use one of Ser Sonch's abilities to teleport. And we could head over and go to the closest kingdom card with an unused point of interest on it, which would get us over here, which would help a little bit in backtracking, but I think I might just end up using Fleischritter's ability. All right, well, we're going to end our turn there, and then the turn is going to go to Kara. So, of course, at the start of Kara's turn, Renholder gets another Lux token. And let's see what we want to do. I think we are going to use Fleischritter's. So we could, in the travel step, before you travel, we can lose 2 health to perform an additional travel onto an already explored kingdom card. So we essentially got to go 2 spaces to help a little bit with backtracking. So I think we'll do that and set up for a better clue gain for Ser Sonch later. So we're going to lose 2 health. We're going to place this in the sync phase, or sync delayed phase of the refresh rate, and then we are going to go 1, 2. Now, because we're going on to already explored cards, we don't change our heat or our threat or curse. However, we do still resolve a exploration card. Also, because we did not travel east, this card does get discarded. So we got Panzergate. Place a Panzergate on the path you used to travel onto this kingdom card. And if we had 6 or higher threat, we'd also gain a curse. So luckily, now, I'm guessing it's only for the one that we actually got onto the card with. We'll play it like that. I don't believe it triggers for both of the paths we traveled from. But again, there's not any rule to specify that, so we'll just go with that for now. So Panzergate slams in behind us as we get back to the crossroads. Could be worse, could be better. So that is essentially going to be that turn for Kara, and we're going to go on to... actually I actually don't want to raise the threat. I could get a Fleisch token for Fleischritter if we raise that threat using one of his abilities, but I don't think we want that. All right, it's going to be Fleischritter's turn now. Renholder is going to get his last Lux token on the card of Empower, so we're going to move these off, and we are going to discard Empower, so that has been used up, essentially. All right, and we are going to go to the west now to get another historic clue for Ser Sonch. So that is going to be the Merchant District. We don't get any other clues, unfortunately. However, we do have to raise our threat by 1, going up to 5, and we also get a historic clue for both Kara and Ser Sonch. We are at 2 and 2 now. We need 2 more errant clues to trigger our other story event. However, there's no errant clues here, unfortunately, so that sort of sucks. But that is okay. We will push on. All right, time to resolve exploration card. Illumination. So this is Renholder's Kingdom Adventure card. So resolve a Kingdom Adventure. Renholder is a party leader for this. If you gain a clue from this adventure, you can gain any clue of your choice instead. Cool. So we are going to roll a D100, which is 2 dice. White dice is the 10 spot. Black dice is the 1 spot. So you got 74, 7 and 4. So we're going to refer to our D100. That is going to be Shack in the Rubble. All right, so the rubble field spreads as far as the eye can see. Buildings ground into jagged debris fragments, cast into sand and silt and gravel, at once monolithic and extremely volatile, like a city turned into a quicksand pit. Here and there you notice sinkholes that look deep enough to swallow a night whole. On your right, a path made out of long planks has been laid out. On your left, a decrepit shack made from rubble. Perhaps you will find something of use there, but the shack is surrounded by sinkholes. You might have to wade around, losing precious time. So as a group, meaning just me, we can choose. So we can explore the shack, which will end up one night gaining a chosen clue, but we have to resolve another exploration card, essentially using up another turn, because our exploration cards are essentially our timer for the round, and once that is depleted, we start the first fight. So we'll essentially spend more time to find a specific clue. Or we could continue our journey where each knight loses 1 health, however raises their heat limit by 1, and also lowering the threat by 1. That is also very, very attractive because we're already at 5 heat. However, it would be nice to get a chosen clue for Ser Sonch. You know what? Because I think we're going to end up going to another medium spot, I think we're going to... Well, actually, no. Let's probably try and control our threat a little bit more. Because we're focusing on just Ser Sonch's story, it's a little bit easier for us to decide this. So I think we will actually take the clue instead and resolve another exploration card. So we're going to explore the shack. It takes you a long time to cross the swamp as you struggle to move through the thick waters. In the end, you reach the shack and discover a strange trinket. A rusted metal egg. Perhaps it belonged to a witch or a warlock. Now all that's left is to go back through the swamp of rubble. So we're going to have, of course, Ser Sonch gain another errant clue. So we need 1 more, actually, to trigger our other story event. Making good progress there. And we have to resolve another exploration card. Oh, also, if you gain a clue from this adventure, gain any clue of your choice instead. Now, I don't know if it says you as it refers to whoever's the party leader or whoever revealed the exploration card. So we'll just leave it as that. Stone Curse. Remove the top card from X Kingdom decks, where X is your current curse level, which is 1 right now, starting from the smallest. And if we had, but we have 5 or more threats, so we actually have to remove 2 top cards from each Kingdom deck instead. Oof, that's bad. So there's only 9 more of those, and we have to remove those, and we remove those, and we essentially get rid of the extra large tile cards. So that's gonna essentially shut us out of a lot of potential to find the boss in the future. So we only have 1 large card left. So that's unfortunate because we had too much heat. Well, regret has been made. All right. Well, that is going to be the turn for Fleischritter. Yeah, unfortunately that wasn't curse gain because we could actually avoid curse gain with Kara. All right, so that's going to end Fleischritter's turn. So it's back to Ser Sonch as the party leader. I think we don't want to go up to 6, so we are going to go upwards. We're going to go north, and we are going to resolve a small tile card. Oh, if only it was the other way around. All right, we got a town road. Luckily, no dead end, so it's just going to be a simple -1 to our threat and resolve an exploration card. We get no clues and nothing else gained, but that is okay. So let's resolve an exploration card. Errant Foresight. This is... Oh, nice. This is Ser Sonch's Kingdom Adventure card. So reveal the top card of any Kingdom deck matching the paths available on your current Kingdom card. If there is a path with a errant clue on it, you must travel onto that in the next travel step. Resolve a Kingdom adventure. Ser Sonch is the party leader for this adventure. All right. Well, we can resolve another small, or we can resolve a medium. However, I guess it just has to be small because that's actually the only spot we can go to. So we'll reveal a small. It unfortunately does not have a green. However, it at least gives us a medium card that we can head towards. So it's a better crossroads, essentially. So we know that that's the next one. So we don't have to go that way if we don't want to now because there was no errant clue on it. And then we resolve a Kingdom adventure with Ser Sonch being party leader. 83. 8 and 3. It's going to be trespassing. As you pass under the shadow of a leaning tower, you see an old oak tree by the side of the road. I'm guessing that's supposed to be tree. Seemingly unaffected by the surrounding destruction. There is something shiny inside the trunk. Gold, maybe. As you come closer, you hear a strange hissing voice declare, "Trespassers, pay toll. Begone." The demand for a tribute rings hollow, but then again you feel shivers go down your spines. It is never wise to disregard disembodied voices. As a group you can choose. If you don't have enough gold, you have to choose option 2. Well, unfortunately, we start the game with 0, and this is only our first delve, so we do have to choose option 2. Ignore the voice. You will not bow your head to the malevolent forces. Too many before you have done so, and look what desolation their weak-willed submission has wrought. One of you reaches inside the trunk and takes its treasure, a handful of coins and gemstones. You will regret being born, the voice hisses. We gain a curse. Each knight gains 10 gold and delays 1 ability card. If the threat is 7 or higher, which luckily it is not, 1 knight starts the next clash with a choked condition card, which I believe reduces it makes you essentially have 3 permanent heat until you're done, or until you get rid of it, which is really, really bad. So everyone gets 10 gold, which is nice. So we can mark that on everyone's character sheet. Luckily, hopefully if we can find another story event that utilizes gold, that'll be useful for us. However, we do gain a curse level. I think what I'm going to do is we're at 4. I think we might even just go down another. Yeah, we're gonna go down another small path, so we're gonna reduce that by 1 anyways. So I think what I'm gonna do is with Kara, I think we're going to utilize. Oops, sorry for the camera messing around. We're going to utilize Daughter of the Wild, which we can discard or put this in the discard pile, and we can gain 1 heat instead to ignore up to 1 curse gain, which is definitely worth it. We want to keep that as low as possible. And we also have to delay 1 ability card. We'll just delay. That stands ourselves up, adds attack. Let's do this. Let's just delay Inspire, because we won't need that till the rest phase, and we'll get that back during the clash anyways. We'll get rid of Night Roll for you. Again, I'm not thinking the most tactically for these, so I could spend a lot of time just thinking about this, but that would take too long. So you have a lot of rest cards. That gives second chance, that's good. Make another night stand up. Let's get rid of Night Roll. Again, we'll be getting these back anyways in the fight as it is. So I think we'll just get rid of the night rolls. Oh, we can't even use Rend until we raise our heat limit. Alright, so let's put that in the delayed. Alrighty, so that is going to be another exploration card. Alright, so that does it for that. So then we're going to move on to the next player's turn. We have our chance to use abilities if we want to, but I think we're just going to hold off. Then it's going to be Renholder's turn. So Renholder, we're going to go north, and we're going to reveal a small card. We already know what this card is because we revealed it with Ser Sonch. And then it's going to reduce our threat by 1 again because it's a small card. Oops. And then we'll resolve another exploration card. We have 2 more left, so essentially 2 more turns. Panzergate. Oh, place a Panzergate on the path you'd use to travel onto this kingdom card. If we had 7 or more threat, we'd place another on another path. Man, Panzergates are just locking down all behind us. Luckily, we're not really looking to backtrack, so it's not the worst thing in the world. We do need to try to find some more or errant clues for Ser Sonch, though. So in that case, that's going to end Renholder's turn. It's going to be Kara's turn next. So we could actually go to a medium. I think we are going to go to the medium now that we've lowered our heat a fair amount now, just so we can provide more opportunities to potentially find errant clues. So let's go to the west. Oh, of course, errant's on the other side. That's okay. So we resolve the merchant district, so that raises our threat by 1. Also, we do gain a mystic clue from leaving from the crossroads, so that's going to be both Renholder as well as Fleischritter, who are looking for those. And then let's reveal our last exploration card, which is going to be Stonequake. So oh man, more Panzergates. Place a Panzergate on X paths where X is your current curse level. Luckily, it's just 1. Starting from the path you used to travel onto, stop when there's only 1 valid path left. So we've locked so much far behind us, but luckily we still have a teleportation ability with old Ser Sonch. Let's see. So that's going to, we have no abilities I want to use. I could use Coordinate if we want to remove a Panzergate, but to be honest, I don't really care. Because we could probably go downwards. I'm sure it'll be fine. So let us actually not use that. I don't really want to discard this card, and I also don't want to lose 2 health. So I think we won't worry about that. I think I will, since I think we're going to go down to a small path. I think we're going to use Smoke Daclin with Fleischritter to raise our threat level by 1 to place a Fleisch token on the night sheet. And that'll go into our sink. And we'll raise our threat to 5. Alright, that's going to end our turn, and that's going to go to Fleischritter for the very last travel step. So even though we've depleted the exploration deck, the first fight triggers only when next time you are going to draw an exploration card, and it's empty. So we've done that. So let's go downwards and try to reduce our threat some more. We could go north, but I don't really want to gain a curse. So let us go this way. All right, and this is actually a viable path for us because it still connects properly. And we're missing out on all the errant clues though. Oof, and this is going to have a curse no matter what. So that's sort of, it's unfortunate. But that's okay. We're going to reduce our threat down to 4. So at least we're starting the next delve phase in a pretty decent spot. We're only at 4 threat and 1 curse, and we've gotten a decent amount of tokens already. So that is going to be it for that. So we would be resolving our exploration card, but we are out. So then that essentially begins the first clash phase where we have taken too much time exploring this kingdom, this principality of stone, and the ironclad or ironcast dead have essentially caught us and have swarmed around us and pinning us in this little alleyway. So we're going to hit this little handy dandy button to swap everything over to the clash step. Yeah, I will actually just make a little cut here. I'm going to make sure everything's in order, as well as, excuse me, go to the washroom quickly, and we'll be back and start this first clash. Alrighty, we are back. I was gonna say thanks for waiting, but thanks to the power of editing, you don't have to wait. So I've gone and set up the fight. Obviously, we have been done some partial setup. If you've played the Tabletop Simulator version yourself, you'll know that you've already sort of done some pre-clash phase deck building. So again, refer to my beginner's guide if you want to learn exactly how to set up this fight or exactly what I did and why. However, we got our body parts or our BP cards set up at the top that represent the different mob standees here that are labeled 1 to 8. I've also gone ahead and flipped over everyone's card ability cards to their clash phase, because again, you can only use them this side in the fight phase. Now, one thing that's not really mentioned in the book, and maybe if Into the Unknown Studios comes across this video and watches this part, they can correct me. However, in the rule book, I could not find any information on exactly what happens when you do flip over, or if you're supposed to flip over cards that are already in discard, delayed, or sync piles. Because if you look, some maybe not that one, that's a bad example, but some cards, I believe, like a Daughter of the Wild, has different delayed actions depending on which they are. So how I assuming is what you play it is, because it wouldn't make much sense, for example, if I can find a good example, like here. See, like this card has, it's supposed to be in the sync pile when you use it, but if you use it in the clash phase, it's going to be delayed. So I'm guessing it's supposed to stay as it was whenever it was put in that pile. This was, in particular, was delayed from encounter, so that is probably not the greatest example. But I'm guessing that you keep them on their appropriate side on when you actually use them until they go back to your hand, and then, like, for example, when this gets back into my hand, I'll flip it over to the clash phase side, because otherwise it doesn't make much sense to have different different delayed actions depending on which thing is, because it sort of messes things up. At least that's how I'm playing it. Again, don't know if that's correct or not, but that's how we're going to do it. All right. Other than that, I think we are ready to go. So I believe we'll start with Ser Sonch being the priority target, because he's starting the fight with an extra passion because of an encounter we had earlier. So we'll have him be the priority target for now. Other than that, we are ready to go. So let's give the AI deck a shuffle. We are going to activate, because enemies go first, we're going to activate the first mob, which is number 1, which is at the top there. We're going to see what it does. Amass. So it's going to be a 3 evasion dice to roll. We need an 8 or higher to dodge it. We need to target the closest engaged knight in range. That's nobody. Closest knight in front in range. That is either Kara or Ser Sonch. However, Ser Sonch does have the priority target token, so it's going to move and attack. I'm not going to use a reaction. We do have a window of opportunity mark there to the those little gold fish-looking icons. So we're just going to have a move up and attack. It's going to be 3 evasion dice, looking for an 8 or higher. Each hit does 1 damage. It has Swarm 1, so if there were other mobs beside us, we'd take more damage per hit. And we also have a knockdown on top of us. All right, so let's do it. 3 dice, 8 or higher. Easy, right? This is going to be super, super easy. So we're going to do that. Let's make sure we don't have any... Yeah, we don't really have any reactions on our side, so let's just not worry about that. I'm looking for 8 or higher. That's a 1, a 6, and a 7. Unfortunately, no dice. No pun intended there. I think I'm going to... Do I want to start building up my heat right away? I don't want to take that much damage if I can help it. I think we'll use 2 heat. Because we have heat refresh 2 on Ser Sonch, so I'll be able to get 2 heat back at the start of my turn anyways. So we'll do that. So we'll re-roll 2 of those dice. It's a 5 and a 3. Unlucky. All right, well, we're going to take that full brunt of the attacks. It's going to be 3 damage, and we're also going to be knocked down. 1, 2, 3. We're also going to refer to our peril arcs. We're at 7 and 9, which is a minor mortis card. Our limit goes up by 1, but because we're already at 4 from a previous story encounter, we're just going to leave it at 4 there. And then we're going to draw a level 1 mortis card and give these a shuffle. Wilder's Reflex. Oh, nice. It's Kara's specific mortis card. So we get to immediately reposition 1. If we were Kara being damaged, however, we would actually be able to reposition 2. And reposition essentially just lets us move 1 space away or in any direction, really. Let's just double check, make sure that is correct. Reposition. During the second ability window, move up to X spaces, or, in this case, just move X spaces. Is there any place that I really care about repositioning? Actually, let's reposition this way. Yeah, let's reposition that way. That might change some things. Plus, getting away as far as possible from the main crowd will be useful. Now we do also get knocked down. And after attack, if no other knights are in zone 2, we have to escalate the lowest unrevealed mob, both the AI and the BP. And that's pretty huge because normally when you're fighting mob fights, you only escalate the AI deck when you're naturally damaging them. Whereas in the boss fight, you're escalating both the AI and the BP deck. But in this case, it specifically asks you to escalate both. But luckily, there is 2 other knights in zone 2. We both have Renholder and Kara is in zone 2. And again, zone 2 is just a 2 square box around that mob. So every square within 2, including diagonals, counts as zone X, essentially. All right, so that is going to be the first attack. Not the greatest. All right, so that is going to be activation number 1. Then we go on to mob standee number 2, which I believe is to the left here. And we're going to see what that one does. Rusted Slash. So it's a 3 evasion dice we have to roll. Getting a 9 or higher. It's going to be targeting closest knight in front in range. That is going to be Kara. However, yeah, that's a little bit awkward. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They have 5 movement. Oh, and yeah, just so you know, 7 or higher to hit them. They have 5 movement, and we have to kill 5 of them to win. So I guess it would go for Ser Sonch still, because technically Kara and Ser Sonch are equal spaces away. So Ser Sonch, even though he's knocked down, unfortunately, that still doesn't discount him, I don't think, as being a target, which we also need to get the knockdown status effect card. So this just means we are knocked down. We cannot perform pretty much anything. We can discard it from other effects, though, and at the end of our turn, we flip this card to just sort of represent us standing up. Okay. So this one's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and go here. It's going to move and attack, so if we are at 4 heat, it'd do extra damage, but otherwise each hit does 1. So we're going to be rolling 3 dice looking for a 9 or higher. Considering I'm focusing on Ser Sonch's star, it's not very great that he's getting pummeled. 2, 3, and 3. Ouch. Oops. Let's move our Mortis decks back. Alright, well, I could reroll 2 of those and go all the way up to 4 heat. But, you know what? I think we're just going to say screw it. Oh, one thing I actually forgot to roll, funny enough, is the armor dice. So let's actually just roll that from the past one, because if I get a solo chalice symbol, which I didn't, that would reduce the damage by 1. However, we will do it for this attack as well. So we're taking 3 damage, potentially 2 if I can get a solo chalice. Nope, no solo chalice. So unfortunately, that is going to be 3 damage straight to Ser Sonch's face, down to 4, which means his heat limit goes to a 5, and he also has to draw a major Mortis card. Counterattack. Immediately stand up. Hey, there we go. Worked out in our favor, even though it still sucks that we're getting hit. You may immediately refresh one card, reposition 3, and perform a bonus attack. You can unexhaust your weapon if exhausted and ignore attack responses. Holy moly. That's a hugely powerful effect. I've never seen that one before. Okay, well, we can immediately refresh our Inspire, which is fantastic. We also can reposition 3. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. Now, does it have to be against the same one? I don't think so. It's just perform a bonus attack. So we essentially just get a free attack. And we also get to ignore attack responses. That is pretty huge. 1, 2, 3. So that would be number 5. So we could actually attack that one. That might be good. Might not be good. Might be better than being clumped up in here with other mob standees nearby. I don't believe we can move through miniatures, so otherwise I would just sort of surround this one as well and get rid of some of the mob clutter. But I think we're going to reposition 3 and go 1, 2, 3. And yeah, we're going to attack number 5 here. So those Mortis cards aren't always bad. Alrighty, let us see. So we are going to attack and hopefully can kill this off. So essentially how the chain of command works as well, even though there were like after attack responses and stuff here, just to prevent reactions from going back and forth almost indefinitely potentially, any attack from either, you know, a middle of an attack from the opponent or for yourself is immediately going to essentially discard any extra effects from that previous card. So this card essentially is over now. We've sort of interrupted their attack, which is really, really nice. So we're going to do our full attack against this Iron Cast Dead number 5. And we are going to be attacking with our Broken Sword, which is going to be 1 attack dice. We have a +2 to hit. However, because we have Fear, also we can get rid of our Knockdown condition card. Because we have our Fear, we do have -2. So it essentially counters the bonus that we have. So we just have a flat out straight roll. However, I think I can... I am going to use 2 heat, I think, to get +2 precision for this attack, because I think I really do want to try and get rid of this Fear card if possible and wound them. So we're going to spend 2 heat. It is going to only leave us 1 dice to reroll, 1 heat left to reroll still. However, we do get to have a free reroll off our Broken Sword anyways, so we can reroll without using a heat. Additionally, because we're attacking, we're going to be gaining 1 passion and unlocking level 2, so we have level 2 as well as level 1 for our heroic arc. Also, I should mention that I believe because this is considered a bonus attack, this is not me starting my turn, so I do not get the refresh, the heat refresh and the card refresh, for example. That is essentially how I assume it works. Okay, so let us roll 1 dice. Let's roll our dice, see what happens. We're looking for because we have the +2 from that card that we used. So this goes into our delayed step. And we're looking for a 5 or higher because we need a 7 or higher to successfully hit. That's a 9, almost a crit, but that's going to be a successful hit. So didn't even need to use this, but I'm still happy I use it. You know, you just want to guarantee it, or at least guarantee it as much as you can. So that is going to let us get a successful hit. Let's make sure we got the steps correct. So we got our attack roll. Now we have our first ability window. We do have some abilities we can do. For example, there's a reposition, which, or actually a hug. I think reposition is actually only 2nd ability window. Hug is in the 1st ability window, but I think we're just going to stay there. There's not really anywhere that I want to move towards. So I think we're going to stay there. And then now let's see where we hit. So we hit number 5, so we reveal that card. So we're hitting Bone at Arm. So it's a 3 armored Iron Cast Dead. So we need 3 swords or 3 power to successfully wound it. If we happen to get over 3, including our 3 that we need to wound, which means 6 total, we get to leave a free power behind for the next person. If we do wound them, we essentially they get a free activation for the furthest mob, which is a little unfortunate. But I mean, not much you can do that. Not much you can do there, unfortunately. All right, so then we are going to build up our power dice. So because we had a successful hit, for each successful hit, you add in that many power dice for whatever is listed on your weapon. We also do get 1 power dice by default for every character. So in total, our Broken Sword gives us 2. So in total, we get 3. let's see. Making sure I'm not forgetting anything. And then we have the level 2 unlocked for our heroic arc, so we can reroll one of these dice if it doesn't go very well. But with 3 dice, there's a pretty decent chance we'll wound this one. All right, so let's give it a roll, and we're looking for 3 swords. Even better if we get 6 somehow. That is going to be 4. All right, so that's going to be 4 swords. That's a successful wound. So then we are going to worry about responses. However, this is going to be this is going to use an AI card for their attack for their response. So we're actually going to resolve that after. So if you happen to get a reaction from them that results in like an attack or something, you resolve it after your attack's done. Otherwise, it would be pretty awkward. But otherwise, you resolve them instantly. So we'll get to that in a second. However, we do now have our wounds and escalation. So this card essentially is going to go bye-bye into the wound stack. We're going to remove a level 1 AI card and bring a level 2 AI card in to escalate the deck. We're going to shuffle it 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that'll be that. And then now we need to clear the night pool. We didn't end up getting any initial tokens in there, so don't have to worry about that. But now we can leave our own break tokens behind. So we can potentially leave, we didn't end up using our power reroll. Oops. So I could actually leave a break token and also reposition, as well as our opening token, sorry, and then leave a break token for that first line on the left side. So I think we'll do one of each. So we'll leave 1 break and 1 opening. Additionally, our weapon gives us an option of leaving another opening or break token. And I think we'll probably, also this standee is removed. I think we're going to try and, yeah, let's try to just burst down the level 1s as quick as we can. So who should we have? Who's probably going to be going next? We've got maybe Renholder go and kill the level 2. Either that or Fleischritter. I think it's relatively easy for people to hit. It really just depends on if we're going to be using Fleischritter, because Fleischritter has a -1 on his attack, which is really rough. So we'll do attacks. Oh, sorry, we'll do an opening. So now the next person to attack will get +2 to their attack rolls, and they'll have an extra break token to use to turn a broken chalice symbol, which are these little ones on the red dice, and turn that into a power, thanks to a break token. All right. So I think that is going to be it. No abilities I want to use still, and I think we're gonna end our turn there. So I think we'll just go with that plan. Fleischritter can wound really easy, so I think we'll save him for maybe like the level 2s if we need to. So I think we're gonna move Renholder. At the start of Renholder's turn as well, we have to reduce our heat, refresh our heat by 2. Also, our card refresh goes by 1, so that's going to move there. And next turn, we'll get that back. We have 4 movement, so we're going to go 1, 2, 3. Oop, go on top of... There we go. Go there. And then I think do we want to use our wand, actually, or do we want to use our sword? A wand would give us the benefit of attacking from ranged. Additionally, we have the ability to leave a cantrip token. We do have to exhaust it if we successfully wound, though. Let's go with the broken sword, actually. We'll just go 1 space this way, and we'll attack number 2. So our broken sword, it's the exact same weapon as Ser Sonch. So we got 1 dice to roll. We are looking for, because we have 2 opening tokens in the night pool, we have +2 there. Then we have +2 naturally on our broken sword, so +4, meaning we essentially need a +3 or higher on the dice to successfully hit. Our passion does go up by 1, unlocking our first heroic arc row. That's going to be a 9. Again, didn't need the opening tokens at all or anything like that, but those still get used up regardless, because they're going to go after our attack is done anyways. All right, so that's a successful hit. So let us reveal what we hit. That is going to be, because we don't really have any abilities that we can use here, because the other stuff is for our second ability window. So Iron Cast Dead number 2, that's going to be Armor Head. So he's got 4 armor. He's got an instinct. So either, regardless of if we wound or fail, we're going to draw an AI for the... Oh, actually, one thing I forgot to do is I forgot to do this. Sorry. I'm sure people were screaming at their screen for me to do this. So we need to draw AI for the furthest mob. And that would be number 6. So let's see. Number 6 is going to trigger. Slashagore. So closest knight in front in range. So Renholder would actually be here. So that means that both Fleischritter and Renholder are equal spaces away. So we can choose because neither of them have the priority target token. We're going to go Fleischritter, I think. Because Fleischritter has a lot more health. So we're going to move 3 spaces. We're going to roll 4 dice. We're looking for a 7 or higher. Each hit does 1 damage. However, for every 2 hits, we roll an additional dice to hit, resolving only once. Oof. All right. All right. Let's see how lucky Fleischritter is. It's gonna be 4 dice, and we're looking for a 7 or higher. It's gonna be a 6, a 2, a 2, and a 5. So absolutely no successes. So first off, I think we will end up using 2 heat because we're gonna get that heat back at the start of our turn. We're gonna do 2 heat. Also, we should actually be at 3 heat because we're at 8 to 12 health. So I could actually spend all 3. Screw it. Let's spend all 3. Let's roll 3 of the dice. 3 of those dice. We still get hit with 1. That's 4, 8, and 9. Okay, so we actually dodged 2 of those. So we got 8 or 9, so that's 2 dodges. However, these 2 still count as 2 hits, which means we do get an additional dice rolled against us because that was for every 2 hits. We roll another one. So it's 2 hits so far. And that's a 10, so we actually dodged the bonus hit. Very, very nice. So we got 2 hits on top of Fleischritter. And after attack, it'll be getting up 3. However, first we have our dented breastplate. So we do get to roll 1 armor dice, looking for a single chalice symbol. Oh, that's not going to be it. So we do take 2 damage. Go down to 9. Our heat limit stays at 3. And we are going to look for a level 1 minor Mortis card to resolve. Misdirection, which is Renholder's card. Place 2 cantrip tokens in the night pool. 3 if you're Renholder. We're getting really, really lucky with these Mortis cards. All right, so it's going to be 2 cantrip tokens, and essentially what this means is for the next person, when they declare their attack, they can turn those into either opening or break tokens when they declare their attack. So that is very, very nice. Perfect. All right, so that is essentially what would have happened. Now it would have been Renholder's turn. Renholder would have moved here. We already know that Renholder did their attack and got a successful hit. So let us do our power dice roll. Because we know now that we are attacking Armorhead. We need 4 power symbols. And... oh, actually, that would have also... all right, so I sort of screwed something up here. I apologize. That would have meant that because Fleischritter's attack actually would have happened earlier, we would have on Renholder's turn, we would have turned these into either break or opening tokens. I will say, however, I think regardless of what would have happened, I probably still would have made these into break tokens anyways, because Renholder has such a big bonus to hit already, and so it's just much harder to wound. So I don't think this really changes much. I don't think I would have turned them into opening tokens, so... crisis averted. All right, so let's roll to wound. So we have our 1 dice from our character sheet, 2 dice from using our broken sword, and we do have the 3 break tokens. So any chalice symbols, we can turn those into swords, which is very, very nice. And we're looking for 4 power symbols. Ooh, that is not good, but luckily... we got 2 default power symbols, and we have 2 chalice symbols beside it, so we can actually cash 2 of those break tokens to turn those into power symbols, which equals 4. So luckily, we barely got there alive. So that is going to be exactly what we need to destroy this Armorhead. Now, they are going to get an instinct, so they're going to get another activation on the furthest mob. But that is okay. We still got a successful wound. So that is going to kill number 2. Again, we're going to take a level 1 card out of the AI deck, put a level 2 in, give that a shuffle, and then we are going to clear the night pool. Oh. So that goes away, and then we're going to leave our own tokens and do our second ability window. So for Renholder, we are able to reposition and also leave a cantrip token. I think we're going to reposition over here. And then we're going to leave one cantrip token in the night pool, as well as our broken sword will allow us to leave one opening or one break. And I think... I think we're going to have Fleischritter go, probably. Or do we want... I don't know actually what I want. We only have 2 1s left. So we have to kill a 2 at some point. I'm wondering if it's better to trigger early. Because if we kill a level 2, it's going to escalate and put a level 3 AI card. And I don't know if I want to do that super early. But we're doing pretty well already. We got 2 wounds in the stack. We need 3 more wounds. So I think let's finish off the last... at least the last 2 level 1s, and then we'll decide what to do there. So it's going to be number 3 and number 4, which are over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We can actually use Fleischritter to get there if he rushes. So I think we will use... I think let's use Fleischritter. I think Fleischritter will attack next, which means I think I'm going to leave an opening token behind because he has a -1 to his sword naturally. So I think that's one thing we'll want to watch out for. All right, so that is going to be... All right, actually, let's just to keep track of stuff. So both Renholder and Ser Sonch have gone. So now let us go and reveal, draw another AI for the furthest mob, because this armor head also had the same same reaction as this one, which is really, really unfortunate. So it's going to draw AI for the furthest mob. That is going to be, it was from here. So that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, it's going to be number 8. So 8 is going to activate with a level 2, unfortunately. Bones of the Kingdom. Closest engaged knight in sight. So that is going to be Fleischritter. Oh, Fleischritter's not doing so hot either. It's going to move and attack. It's going to be, if we have 3 or higher heat, which unfortunately he does, it's going to gang up 3. Ooh. Fleischritter might die here. We're going to go 1, 2, 3. We're going to move and attack. Because Fleischritter does have 3 heat, we are going to gang up 3. However, since he's already adjacent to a mob, we're just going to keep him there. However, that means that each hit does swarm +2. So that is going to refer to this card keyword. Attacks with this keyword do +X damage for each other mob adjacent to the attacker. Yeah, Fleischritter's probably going to die here. So, which means we have 4 dice to roll. There's 1 other mob next to Fleischritter. So it's going to be +2 damage for each hit. So potentially 8 damage coming in. No biggie. And we have to roll 9 or higher on this. I'm sure he has this. It's fine. Everything's fine. 9 or higher. That's 1 nut. You saw what I just rolled. I just rolled 4 9s. I just rolled 4 9s. I don't think I'll ever roll as good as that. That is going to be a perfect evade, which would trigger something if we had appropriate gear for it. Holy crap. I don't think I'll ever roll. I think I've used up all my luck in that single roll. Okay, cool. So that is going to be it. Well, we successfully dodged that attack. However, the after attack still resolves. And it says if no other knight is in zone 2, we have to escalate the lowest mob. But luckily, Renholder is within range and is in zone 2 for the Ironcast number 8. So that is... Wow. Wow. Someone can do the math and leave in the comments. I don't know what the chance of rolling 4 9s with 4 d10s is, but we did it. All right, and that was just the reaction of this armor head. So now it is actually our turn still. And let us return the favor. Let us use Fleischritter. So Fleischritter is going to activate. And we are going to card refresh 1. So this will go back into our hand. And this card will go into our sync pile. We also get a refresh 3 heat. Go back to 0. Cool. All right, well, let's see. How do we want to do this with Fleischritter? So we could stay here. I don't really like attacking number 8, who attacked us, because that is a level 3 body part and extremely difficult to kill. Again, I think we do try to just worry about the level 1s for now, and then we'll worry about the harder guys later. I wouldn't mind clearing out some of these mobs, though, because to avoid getting ganged up on as bad as we just did. Might be good to just move away from this group, though. And we need to hit 3 and 4, because those are the last 2 level 1s. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to spend my do my rush ability, so we can spend our movement and our action. Also, let's just see what other abilities we have. Ooh, we actually have Smoke Daclin. So we do have a Fleisch token from earlier. So I think I actually will use that, and because we can fully utilize that anyway. So we're going to spend our Fleisch token to gain 3 vigor. Now that does reduce our... actually, no, we haven't hit max health yet, so our heat limit actually stays at 3, which is perfect. Awesome. Cool. So let us use our rush ability. So we're going to spend our movement in our combat action and plus gain a heat to do rush. So we get a move with 1 extra movement, so we have 5 total movement. And melee reach attack with auto break 1, meaning it's a token we can leave in the first ability window, which is actually before our wound resolve, so we get an extra break token. You must move at least 3 spaces and reach your target via the shortest possible path. So we're going to go for number 3. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just enough. And we're going to swing our weapon. So we get declaring our attack. So we are going to exchange this cantrip token for another opening token to give us the most possible chance to attack, because we do have a -1 with our big 2-hander here. We do also have to, since attacking costs 1 heat. Now, with the wording of this, I'm assuming the developers are intended that you gain heat whenever you attack with this weapon. Even though the word cost, you would imagine, means you lower it. But I would assume gameplay purposes, you're meant to gain a heat each time you attack with it. So we're going to gain a heat and attack with our rusted 2-hander. We're rolling 1 dice. We have a -1 by default. However, there are 2 opening tokens in here, so we effectively have a +1. And that means we're looking for a 6 or higher. That's another 9. Holy crap. I've rolled 5 9s in a row. All right, let's see. We have... how many power dice? Oh, first let's reveal what we hit, because we haven't revealed this card yet. So this is number 3. We also have our first ability window, which, because of our rush ability, that is something that we trigger in our first ability window for auto break 1. So we get a, and also these are gone, we get a free break token in there. So we're going to reveal number 3. We have the Bone Squire. So while this is revealed, all knights have -1 precision, but I'm pretty sure we're going to be able to kill this thing. It only has 2 health. If we get 4 power on it, we actually will get the over bonus. And with someone like Fleischritter, that's actually fairly easy to get, because he has the strongest hitting weapon in terms of wounds. So we actually get a roll. We got to add our power dice together, which means we add 1 power dice, 1 black power dice, and 1 red power dice. The black power dice are essentially just more powerful, being able to hold more swords on it. And then, of course, we also get our 1 default red from our character sheet. All right, so we just need 2 swords. That is 6 swords. Man, I really wish I hit someone different then. Also, I forgot we did also unlock our first passion level when we attacked. So I forgot to mark that down. So that is definitely a very successful wound. Also, it is going to be over 2. So it's going to be, we're able to leave a free power token behind. So this just counts as a free power for the next person to use. And of course, this will go away. Cool. Alrighty, so let's keep that actually up there for now. So that is going to be a successful wound. So this is going to go, it is going to get a wound reaction, which is just reveal the leftmost unrevealed body part. So we reveal this one, and luckily this one does not have a constant effect or a passive effect, because some of them do have passive effects on when they're revealed, they do stuff. But now we get more information. This is good for us. We actually do know that number 1 is the Panzerdead, who's a level 2 body part. All right, so that is going to be that. So this goes into the wound pile. We're at 3 wounds now, and we of course take a level 1 AI card and put in a level 2. So the deck's going to get stronger. And let me make sure I'm not missing anything. So we're going to clear the night pool for the previous tokens, and then also our second ability window triggers, so we can put in the power token we unlocked, as well as we get to put 2 break tokens in from our double-handed sword. So the next person's going to have a huge time to wound. And this mob standee also goes away. And let's see. Do we get anything on our heroic arc track? We do. And I think I'm going to use the right side. Well, actually, no. Let's do it. Let's do the right side so we can add an opening token and we can push back. However, the mob's already dead, so don't need to worry about that. Because then we have Kara next. Alrighty, so that's going to end Fleischritter's turn. Damn, the time that I played with my friends earlier today, we did not do this well. Things were definitely a lot worse going into this fight. So this fight's going a lot better. We had some very poor encounters in the first delve phase. Alright, so let's see. It's Kara's turn last. Start of Kara's turn. Kara's going to refresh 3 heat, which brings her down to 0. We are also going to refresh 1 card, so this goes into our sync step. And any abilities we want to use? I don't think so. I think we're going to be gunning for number 4, also because this one died. It goes to the next mob is going to activate essentially over here. Let's see. So number 1 in front of us. Well, we do know what number 1 is, so if we happen to wound this, we draw an AI for the furthest mob. And then we also have to reveal the leftmost unrevealed BP. However, if we get a crit, we can flip a chosen BP face down, which doesn't really actually affect us. But so I could go for just attacking this one. Alternatively, I could go for the number 4 and just get rid of the easiest one out of the way. Let's go for the easiest one. I think we'll save the tougher one to attack with Fleischritter because he is able to wound a lot easier. And we just want to... Let's just get rid of all the weak Joe Schmoes out of the way, I think. So we're going to go... Yeah, let's go 1, 2, 3. Let's go here. Use our movement to get there. And we will... Yeah, I could use Rush to get a free auto break, but we've already put so many break tokens and wound tokens in there that I don't think it's going to matter too much. So let's declare our attack. So we're going to raise our passion by 1. Also, yeah, no one's gone over past Ser Sonch for passion, so no one steals the priority target token from him. That's going to unlock level 1. We're going to attack with our dulled spear, so we can actually attack from 2 direct spaces away because it's unwieldy reach 2. But that's fine. We'll just attack right next to them. And I think we're going to, yeah, just hit him. So we get 2 attack dice. We're looking for, we have 1 opening token, so it's going to be +1 there. And then we have +1 naturally on our spear. So we have +2. We're looking for a 5 or higher on the dice. It's a 3. Oh, that was almost a 9. So it's a 3 and a 1. So I am going to spend 2 heat to actually reroll that. Reroll both of those. Oh, that is a natural 10 on the critical dice. So that actually is a critical chance, meaning if there is a critical effect on this card, we get to use that and also bypass the other reactions potentially. Unfortunately, we got a 1 on the other one. So we only got 1 hit, but it's a critical chance. So as long as we wound, we'll get that critical effect. Which means we get 1 power dice. Let's actually flip over and see what happens. We have our first ability window as well. However, we have no abilities or anything that we can do yet for that. So we're just going to reveal this. So there's no critical, unfortunately. And there is going to be still, regardless, a wound reaction on it. All right, well, it's going to be Man at Bones. It's going to be 3 armor. So we're going to need 3 power dice, or 3 swords, essentially. All right, well, let's add up all of our power dice. We got 1 successful hit, so we're going to get 1 dice from the weapon. However, we do get 1 dice naturally, so it's 2. We do get a free sword from the power token that was left behind by Fleischritter, which is nice. All right, so let's try this out. Come on, Kara. So that's going to be 2. It's going to be 2 swords. We get the 1 free sword. We don't get any chalices, though, unfortunately, so we aren't able to utilize these break tokens. But we do get another sword, which exactly, luckily, is what we need. So we got the 2 from the dice, 1 from the knight pool. So that's equals 3 armor. So that's going to kill this man at bones. They are going to get a free activation on the furthest mob. However, we'll do that after we do our token. So that's our 4th wound. So we only need 1 more. That is going to be, we also have to look through the deck for a level 1. Unfortunately, there's only level 2s left in the deck. So let's go to the discard pile and take the level 1 card out. And then we'll put a level 2 in. Give that a shuffle. Escalate the deck. Okay. And then we are going to clear the knight pool. And we're going to leave behind our second tokens, or our second ability tokens. So we get opening 2 from the dulled spear, and we can either choose a break token or another opening token for having our heroic unlocked. I think we're going to, since we already get 2 opening tokens from our spear, I think we're going to leave behind the 1 break token. And then this mob is gone. Okay, well, man, that was a super, super successful round. Everyone killed at least one thing. No one is super in danger of dying now. Well, actually, sorry, Ser Sonch is at 4 health. So Ser Sonch could actually die here potentially. And unfortunately now it is the enemy's turn. So, and we escalated the deck so much that there's only level 2s for them. So this could be bad for people. But I don't think it's possible for them to kill all of us in this round. So as long as a couple people survive, we just need 1 more person down, and we'll successfully win. So, let us activate this. Oh, it's just standing number 6. So that's going to be this one here. Mindless Slasher. Closest knight in range. That is going to be a Renholder. Move and attack. Each hit does 1 damage if you're at 3 or more heat. You roll an additional evasion dice, so rather than 3 dodging 3 attacks, you have to dodge 4. For every 1 hit, you roll another dice. If no other knight is in zone 1, also knock down a 1, and they also get choke condition card. Holy crap. Well, that really, really sucks. So, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, even if I use a reaction to potentially move Renholder, I don't think Renholder has anything, really. Actually, probably should have used some of these abilities. Whoopsie! Again, not really focusing on the ability cards. All right, so we're going to move and attack. It's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. And that is going to be, 3 dice. Renholder does not have 3 or more heat, so it's just the 3 evasion dice hitting on a 7 or higher. Each hit does 1, however, every single successful hit is an additional dice roll, an additional attack we have to do. All right, this is not going to be good for Renholder, I think. Come on, 7 or higher. I mean, we rolled 4 9s somehow, so... Okay, oh, I thought that was going to be a 9. We got 6, a 1, and a 7, so we dodged 1. I am going to spend 2 heat to re-roll the other 2. And we get a natural 10... and a 4. So we only get hit once. However, that does also mean, because we got 1 successful hit against us, they get an additional dice rolled. But we got another natural 10! So we dodged the bonus hit. All right, so that's going to be just 1 damage. Wow. If only our rolls were this good when I was playing with my friends earlier. So then we also roll our armor dice for dented breastplate. Looking for a solo chalice symbol. And did not get that, unfortunately. Okay, and then we also will do our mortis card. So we're at 8. So we have to draw, our heat limit goes up by 1 to 5, and we draw a minor mortis card. Insulted. You may immediately stand back up and perform a bonus attack. Okay. I mean, we're not knocked down. We would have gotten knocked down. Let's see. Let's make sure in terms of order. Because I'm wondering when you resolve the bonus attack. Because technically, by the way the rules work, this would actually interrupt this attack and discard all other effects. But I'm thinking the attack portion, we resolve everything in that at once, essentially. Following the windows of opportunity. So, let's just make sure we got this correct. Okay, so for attack effects, if you rolled at least one hit, you must resolve all effects of the AI card. So essentially, order of process, I believe. Again, you can feel free to correct me if I am mistaken. What would have happened is we would have actually not drawn the Mortis card yet. We would have essentially resolved the damage. We've done the each hit, roll another dice effect, and then there would be a window of opportunity to do reactions, but we would still keep resolving this. So if no other knight is in zone 1, we do get knocked down. No other knight is in zone 1, unfortunately. So we do get knocked down. We do get the knockdown card. And then we'd also get the choke condition card, which essentially means that our heat is permanently at 3 and can't fall below 3, so we can't refresh underneath that. So not great, but luckily our heat limit has been raised up to 5, so it gives us a little bit of breathing room. And then, essentially, after all those effects have been resolved, we would then do the armor roll, and then see if we actually took damage, and then we would draw the Mortis card, and we did indeed fail. We drew the Mortis card. This would then resolve, so we actually get to stand up for free, and then we get to perform a bonus attack, also effectively canceling the mindless slasher attack, because, again, order of operations, whenever an attack is interrupted by another attack, the previous effects of the attack are negated. So this is, I mean, we could potentially, we're already at 4 wounds. Renholder gets to essentially stand back up and perform a bonus attack against this level 6. It is a level 2 BP card. However, it is possible that we could just end the fight here. Absolutely insane. All right, so that was a minor Mortis card as well. All right, so we're going to stand back up and do our bonus attack with Renholder. So we are going to swing back. I think we are just going to, attack back at number 6 here, because we unfortunately cannot attack anyone else. Because we could attack number 1 with our wand. However, it does say unwieldy range, and unwieldy means that it has to be in a straight line. So unfortunately, we can't do that. So we will attack with our sword and attack number 6 beside us. So let us declare our attack. Let us gain a passion. And also, this isn't our turn, though, so we can't use abilities, I don't think, right now. So let us just go for it. So we get to roll 1 attack dice. We have +2 to our attack. I believe these were left over from Kara, so those are actually going to be used here. So we actually get +2 from the opening, and we have a break token that we can utilize as well. So we have effectively +4 to our attack, which is pretty fantastic. And we're rolling 1 dice. Let's see if our luck can keep going. Oh, that is a natural 1, so that would be a no. However, I am lucky enough to have the broken sword, so we get a free reroll. Now, this doesn't mean an addition to our heat reroll. Again, every dice can only be rerolled once from any source, so it essentially just gives us a free reroll rather than having to use our heat for it. That is going to be a 9 + 4 is 13. I realize that hit the dice there, but regardless, I mean, I don't know what rules you play with, but I'm going to keep that. So that's going to be 9 + 4. It's definitely going to be a hit. We are going to have our first ability window. Nothing that we can really do here. Yeah, because both the Lux token we're able to leave behind as well as our Cantrip token is for the second ability window. So we're going to reveal number 6. It's going to be Mindless Veteran. Uh-oh. When you reveal this BP, escalate the lowest unrevealed mob, AI, and BP. Uh-oh. So the lowest unrevealed mob is number 7. So number 7, since it does AI and BP, this turns into a level 3. And the lowest... Let's see, does it say lowest? Okay. So essentially lowest would still mean, I believe, looking for a level 1 and escalating that to level 2. So we'll take out a level 1, put in a level 2. All right, so I think actually the AI deck might be only level 2s now. All right, so this has 5 armor. So we need to get 5 wounds. I mean, it is possible. It is possible. And because we have a break token in here, we're able to turn a chalice into a power. Let's see, making sure we're not missing anything else. We did also unlock level 2, so we actually get a power reroll if we need it. Our broken sword gives us 2 red dice, and we also get 1 natural, so we have 3 total. All right, we need 5 power symbols. Come on, we could potentially just end the first clash phase here. That is going to be extremely epic if we happen to do so. That is, oh my gosh, that is 2, 3, 4 power. We have 1 broken chalice symbol to turn our only break token into the 5th power symbol to kill this mindless veteran. And that is going to be our 5 wounds successful to kill the Iron Cast dead. And that is going to end our first clash phase with an insanely good round. I'm quite surprised on how well that went. Again, obviously might have been some mistakes in there. I could have probably played things more efficiently. But hopefully it wasn't too bad. If it is extremely bad, I'll be rewatching this in editing. Then I will probably just re-record and do a new run. But otherwise, that is going to end it. So then we are going to essentially go and do the rest step so we can move everything back to the delve phase, because we're going to be moving on to that as well and continue our delve where we left off. So for the rest step, though, we do get to essentially rest after we have fought our first clash, which I'll bring up the rest step here just so people know. Okay, so also we forgot to do the outcome. So you win when the Ironcast are defeated, gain loot, and then proceed to the aftermath. So for each wound, your party receives the following resource. So for every BP or BP level 1 or single wound, we get 10 gold. For every BP level 2, 20 gold. And level 3, we get 35 gold. Now it says for each wound, your party receives the following resources. So I'm thinking this is communal. I don't think every knight gains 10 gold. Again, that could be wrong, but we only have level 1s in here. 3, 4. Actually, no, we have a level 2. So that's going to be 40 plus 20 is going to be 60 gold total. So I will divvy that up. Let's go 1. We'll look 10 there. 20, 30, 40. And because it's Ser Sonch's story, we'll go 50. And then Renholder had the killing blow. So we'll give Renholder another 10. So that'll be 60 total. All right, so that is going to be it. And then we go to the aftermath. So we get to rest and then also prepare for the boss clash. So from now on, you can trigger the boss clash on Kingdoms cards with the skull symbol, remove all Ironcast dead elements from the battle board, and then prepare your encounter with the Egg Knight. So I'll do that, of course, off recording, and then just set that up later. And then we also continue the delve. So we resume the delve using the second exploration deck, and our goal is to find the Kingdom card with the skull symbol and defeat the Egg Knight, trying to finish your knight objectives in the progress. So first off, let's go to page 12. And make sure we do our rest stuff. So we get to resurrect any dead knight. Although they lose half of their clues rounded up. We also have to reset our passion, our heat, our vigor. Also, unfortunately, does not reset automatically. So we do have to find some way to heal Ser Sonch. And it's going to be essentially our delve phase here. We also get all of our ability cards back. So our passion gets reset to 0. Our health stays and our heat limit stays, even though our heat gets reset to 0. We also lose... also, I think I actually should have gotten rid of this fear card earlier because we did get a successful wound. Whoopsie. Since we aren't changing our health, our heat limit still stays the same, though, so we'll leave that for Ser Sonch. For Renholder, gets to 0, goes down to 0, and our health will stay the same. So these will all change, as well as the choke card will get discarded as well because all conditions will be gone also. I am jumping around a little bit, but all right, so clean up, return all your ability cards from your sync delay, discard and play areas to your hand, discard all conditions, clear the knight pool, discard all tokens from your knight sheet, and unexhaust all gear cards, regain all discarded gear cards as well. Then we can also play rest abilities after that before we adjust the heat limit marker to whatever our new health is currently. So let us do that. So all these tokens, they are gonna go like that. We are also going to return all of our cards to our hand. All right, and so then we can use rest abilities. So let's see. When we're about to rest, we don't have a flesh token though, unfortunately. We can raise our threat level by 1 to collectively gain up to 5 health amongst party members, and I believe Kara has the same one. I think we are going to use Inspire. Definitely utilize that as much as possible. We want to try and at least get Ser Sonch's last clue done before we engage the boss fight. So I think... Yeah, I think we will do that. So let's use Inspire, and we will just straight up lower the threat level by 1. So it brings it down to 3. And I think Renholder also has a similar ability. Oh, maybe not. Renholder can heal, but he's only down by 1, so I think we're gonna ignore that. Ser Sonch does though, and Ser Sonch's ability is only a sync level, so he'll actually refresh that pretty quickly. So yeah, let's do that. Let us get another threat down, so we're down to 2. And we can also reset our HP and place this card in your play area. At the beginning of the next clash, gain the knockdown condition card, then delay this card. So this could be, we could actually get a full heal straight up if we want to, but we would have to start the boss fight knockdown. Not the worst thing in the world, because we have a lot of other cards that can potentially stand Ser Sonch back up. And I think I would rather do that than utilize Night Roll to raise the heat threat level and give people health that way. So I think, yeah, I think for Ser Sonch, we're going to utilize this card. So we're going to reset our health to 10. That is going to affect our heat limit. Heat limit's going to go back to 3. And everyone else's heat limit is also going to go back to where it should be, depending on where they are. I think we're just going to leave Renholder at 8 health. Kara did not get hit, and luckily Fleischritter had the Fleisch token to heal himself back up earlier. But I think we'll keep him at 12 health so he has 3 heat to be able to use, because that'll be a little bit better than him being at 2, actually. So actually better for him to actually stay a little bit injured. All right, that is going to be it. So let's see. That'll be our first Dell phase and our first Clash phase. So, man, this is going so much more smoothly than when I played with my friends. That quadruple 9 roll followed by another 9 roll, and also the Mortis cards we drew to get the reactions that we needed. Like, I don't think it could have gone any better than that, to be honest. So I think with that, I will actually end the video here. Because again, this game is a little bit of a longer game than like Townsfolk Tussle. I don't want to put everything in one video. I've now just looked at the time. It's about an hour. I think that's a good length to keep the video. Plus, this is a good break point. You know, if you want to pause and go take a break, go stretch your legs, come back and watch the second half. I'll make a separate video for the second Dell phase and the second Clash phase. And then that'll be a little bit easier to handle. But thank you so much for watching. Hopefully it wasn't too painful. I think I handled everything relatively well. I do not doubt there were definitely some mistakes in there, but incomplete rulebook followed by still learning how to play this game as a whole, plus just, you know, it's a lot to handle yourself. So hopefully it's still enjoyable to watch. But thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.